Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. Our show, Eye on the Valley, is brought to you, like I said, by SCVI and iLEAD Schools. We are a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've got a fully accredited online school that's kindergarten through 12th grade and a burgeoning homeschool program, iLEAD Exploration. You're actually going to hear a lot more about iLEAD Exploration a little bit later in the show. But you can visit us at iLeadSchools.org. So you can check us out, like I said, there at iLeadSchools.org. Our show is Eye on the Valley. So we've got our eye on education in Santa Clarita and across the nation. But like our show says, we keep our eye on the valley as well, bringing you everything you need to know about what's what here in the valley. And we do it all while having a lot of fun. If you know me, if you know the show, you know that I refuse to do anything unless I can have fun while I'm doing it, which tends to get me into a little bit of trouble sometimes. But it's all good. We all need a little trouble in our lives. It is another beautiful Friday here in the valley. It's gorgeous outside this morning. We are working our way toward the high 70s again today. A little cooler this weekend, but beautiful nonetheless. It is going to be an absolutely great weekend here in the valley. Want to know why? Because we're going to make it great. It is up to us, and we've also got another great show for you today. In just a moment, I'll be joined by Kevin MacDonald, CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. We've got another early edition of Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Big T's segment is always a lot of fun, and you can play along at home or at work or wherever you are. In hour number 2, we're going to be talking to 3 members of the iLEAD Exploration High School team. iLEAD Exploration is our homeschool option, open to families across Southern California. So if you've got kids, you won't want to miss it. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I mentioned, my first guest today is CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center, and they've got a lot going on there. It is not just for seniors anymore. In fact, they've got some really cool events coming up that you're going to want to hear about. You're going to want to be hanging out at the Senior Center here pretty soon. Kevin MacDonald was born in Mountain Lakes, New Jersey, the third of 7 children. Early in life, Kevin discovered his passion for service and soon began volunteering to work with people with disabilities in his community. After receiving his degree in business administration from the University of Dayton in Ohio, he returned home to New Jersey to become the Director of Residential Services for the ARC Morris County chapter, the same nonprofit that he had served as a high school volunteer. There, he directed the largest community-based residential program in New Jersey for people with developmental disabilities. After 3 years, MacDonald moved to California to attend UC Berkeley, where he got his MBA with a concentration in public and nonprofit management. After completing his degree, MacDonald decided to stay in California because California, am I right? Fortunately, his experience at the ARC in New Jersey helped him get a position as Assistant Executive Director at the ARC California, located in Sacramento. Not long after that, he became the CEO of the ARC of Los Angeles and Orange counties, located in Downey, where he served for 23 years. So it was no surprise that when the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center was looking for a new executive director, they reached out to Kevin. Kevin was hired in July of 2016, where he quickly took on the task of developing the new senior center at Bella Vita. And man, if you haven't seen it, you've got to check it out. I took a tour shortly after they opened in 2019, and I got to tell you, I can't wait until I'm a senior and start hanging out there. Kevin, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Nice to be with you, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. We love having you. So I mentioned just a minute ago your beautiful new facility on Golden Valley Road, Bella Vita. It represents a beautiful collaboration between your team, the city, the community to build a senior center that's really becoming a hub in our community that's worthy of our seniors. But as I mentioned, it's not just for our seniors. You opened Bella Vita less than 2 years ago, but it's kind of been closed for the last year because of the pandemic, right? But that doesn't mean you guys have shut down. You've been really busy. Can you talk to us about what services you have been able to provide throughout the pandemic?
Sure, Matt. We're so grateful that we have Bella Vita, and it was a combination of the county and the city and the community all working together to make this new senior center that we call Bella Vita, which means beautiful life, our new home. and we opened in April of 2019, and then we closed it in March of 2020. On March 13th was our last day. I remember speaking to the seniors at the lunch and said, I'm not sure when we'll see you again. But then we had to make a quick pivot, as most organizations had to, and we couldn't have everyone meet in the banquet hall, and we couldn't have people roaming the halls and doing all the activities that they would normally do at the senior center. So we went straight through a drive-through service for our seniors, and the front of Bella Vita became this event-type place for a drive-through Monday through Friday from 11 to 1 every day for our seniors who couldn't come into the banquet hall and couldn't gather. So that started flying, and we had so much fun with that. We still have fun with it every day. Almost over 400 people come to pick up their lunch and see our volunteers. And then what also happened was our Meals on Wheels program. You know, we were delivering about 300 on that day, and now we're delivering 800 a day.
Wow, that's really expanded.
It's really well, and you know the need is out there, and with the stay-at-home orders and trying to protect our seniors.
Right.
And as you know, the most vulnerable population with this virus is our seniors. So we're grateful we're able to provide that service, and we have 110 volunteers who come in each week to deliver those meals. It's just an incredible thing, and you know they keep telling me we keep seeing the faces on the seniors when we drop off their meals for them, and the joy it brings to them just to have that simple interaction and to get a hot meal. It's really something special.
It is special, and gosh, so important because, like you said, you guys obviously provide so many more services and activities for our seniors during normal times, but that critical element of helping our seniors get a hot meal and be nourished is so important. But then, as vulnerable as they are, we've got to keep them safe. So you're doing that for those that are able to drive through every day, and I know there's groups that have been out there having fun as well, cheering on our seniors, letting them know how much we love them, and how you're hoping to get them back there inside here real soon. But then you've also got 800 meals that you're delivering every day, you said. So I can imagine you guys have got to be pretty careful as you're delivering those meals to seniors' homes. What kind of precautions are you guys taking to make sure that the delivery is safe for everybody involved, the drivers, your seniors that you're serving? What do you guys need to do to stay safe?
We have so many things in place because we started this last March. As you know, we follow the CDC guidelines and LA County Public Health guidelines, and our drivers are safe, but they're wearing their masks out there. They're staying 6 feet away. We have this thing called knock and drop, where we're knocking at their door and dropping their meal and then backing up, making sure they're getting it, but staying 6 feet away. And our cars are sanitized daily, and we have a really nice system and a nice protocol that we've developed to keep everybody safe. And but we're going to deliver those meals, and I give thanks to all these drivers who have said, yeah, in the middle of a pandemic, I'm going to houses and I'm going to make sure these seniors get served in the Santa Clarita as well as the Antelope Valley. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah, you mentioned you guys also serve the Antelope Valley. So are you guys having volunteers drive from Santa Clarita up to Antelope Valley? Do you guys work with the center up there as well?
Yeah, we have a home base in Lancaster, and we're delivering to 1,300 seniors Meals on Wheels in Lancaster, Palmdale, the whole valley there, and also providing social workers there. So we have a lot going on in the Antelope Valley as well.
That is terrific, and I love hearing the determination in your voice, and it sounds like you're really reflecting the same determination with your volunteers. We're gonna deliver those meals. Just that. I don't care if it's a global pandemic. I don't care what's out there. We're going to do what it takes to keep everybody safe, but also make sure that our folks are getting fed. So I know you guys stay in touch as well. You've got people that are not just manning and answering the phones, but you guys are also proactively making phone calls to make sure that your members, that the seniors are doing okay. What are you hearing from your guests, from your clients who, as you said, are the most vulnerable right now? How's how's coronavirus affecting your ability to meet the needs of our community seniors, and how are they holding up?
Well, the biggest thing our biggest fear during this whole thing is the isolation, and trying to reach out to those seniors, because that is the biggest thing when you're stuck at home and you're fearful of the virus, respectfully so. You need someone to talk to. So our counselors, we call them care managers here. They're like social workers, but we call them care managers, and they're making over 1,000 phone calls a week out to seniors. So we're not just waiting for them to call the senior center. We're reaching out to them.
Right.
And we have our therapist on staff. Her name is Edith, and she's wonderful. And the counselors are just there to listen and talk and encourage people and to let them know all the resources that are currently available that are safe for them to take advantage of. So it's that constant outreach. It's like we encourage people in the community to make sure they're touching base with their neighbors because they're at home a lot, and just as many people are. But our seniors, they need a little extra special things going on right now.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I love how proactive you guys are because, a senior will wake up and they can probably take care of, their most basic and urgent needs and they're going about their day. But we oftentimes neglect, some of that stuff that is so important, like that human connection. Or, gosh, I really need to pick up groceries, but I don't know how I'm going to get it done this week. And then all of a sudden the phone rings. It's the senior center checking in on me, making sure that I'm okay, that I've got someone to chat with, and then also reminding me of, hey, we've got this service, we've got that service. That is really, really important. Now, I want to get into some of the events that you guys have got coming up because like I said, you guys have not slowed down. It seems like you've actually ramped up on things you're doing. But let's talk first about some of the stuff that you guys do at the center during normal times. I mentioned as I was introducing you, I toured the center shortly after you guys opened, my boss and I was just floored by everything that you guys had going on during the 20-30 minutes that I was walking around the center. You guys have a bunch of activities going on. So can you just hit, a couple of the highlights? Because it's not just show up, grab lunch, and go home, is it?
No, and everything we're offering inside, we're offering outside now virtually.
Oh,
so
really?
As you walk down the hallways of Bella Vita, there you'd be taking classes on the left, on the right, and all the way down to the gym and everything else to the dance studios. We put all those online now. So we have our virtual classes that are all free to the seniors.
Oh, great.
And they can hop on and Zoom, and we have the art instructors fantastic, and the Zumba's going on, and the chair Pilates, and you name it, and the Tai Chi. You can take those classes just online for free, and that community has really developed. And also the people that just want to gab, we have little Zoom calls, and they just gab with each other for an hour. It's just wonderful to get that interaction there. So what was happening in our hallways is happening virtually.
Gosh, that is really fantastic. That is fantastic, and I'm really going to test you on this one because, when I was there, you had folks taking driving classes. You had folks involved maybe in some 12-step programs. Is all that stuff still going on?
Well, of course, the driving classes can't go on, but we're doing everything else. The AARP just opened up their tax season for us. Great volunteers from AARP, and we're doing that in our drive-thru.
Wow.
So they used to come in and get their taxes done, and now this is for seniors who are really in need, and they're in our drive-thru just like our lunches, but in the morning and the afternoon they're getting their taxes done. So it's really a wonderful service from the AARP volunteers of Santa Clarita Valley.
Definitely. And I mentioned you've got some events coming up, and they're not just events for your seniors, are they? They're events that include the entire community. Can you tell me a little bit about stuff coming up? You've got a comedy show going on this weekend?
Oh, yeah. We turned our parking lot. We have this wonderful big parking lot at Bella Vita, and we said, we're going to keep doing the events. And we're going to do this for a long time now because we're having so much fun with it. So we all come in every weekend and have this great time. Like this weekend at 3 o'clock on Saturday is JR's Comedy Club is coming in. And they bring 6 to 7 comedians from L.A., and this is their 6th or 7th time with us. We are laughing for an hour and a half. and I'm not saying it's the cleanest jokes in the world because this is a senior community. They can handle it.
Okay.
But they have a great time, and the comedians are talking to a parking lot full of cars because you can't get out of your car. But we have our FM transmitter go into their cars.
All right.
And they're honking their horns, and they're ringing their cowbells. And, oh, my goodness, I'm looking forward to tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a good time again.
That is fantastic. So let me clarify. You said it's specifically for your members, for seniors, but can other members of the community?
No, we're online. Everyone can come. The comedy club costs $10 for a car for seniors, and for the general public, it's only $20. Okay. And they can go online to our website and do that. And then we have our other events are all online too. So we're booked almost every weekend of the month. There's something to do at the Bella Vita parking lot.
That's fantastic. You've got an event called the Beauty Bus and Piece by Piece. What is that?
Yes, we're going to get seniors on a Zoom call, and we're going to make sure they feel beautiful and look beautiful, and they'll have their facial done and do some artwork. And it's a great team that gets together to volunteer their services for that hour. And yes, we'll give them their beauty, their makeup, and everything else. So it's really kind of a wonderful project that it started a while back and continues with the Beauty Bus family.
That's cool. But how do you do facials online? Are you guys sending them?
We send the product to the seniors who sign up, and they go step by step. I've watched my staff do it in their offices, and they walk you through how to do a facial as you're watching the Zoom call. It's quite entertaining.
Okay.
And fortunately, the seniors get to do it from the privacy of their home.
So it's almost even one step better than a facial, right? Because if you give Grandma a facial, you make her pretty for a day. But if you teach Grandma to give herself a facial, she's beautiful for the rest of her life, right?
You got it. Perfect. Very good. You're a good advertisement for the Beauty Bus.
Well, and you guys have got a blues concert coming up. I know one of the things that people have lamented most with the pandemic is it's been over a year since I've been to a concert, but you guys are doing concerts?
Matt, we've had concerts the last 5 months. And
Holy
the Blue
moly.
Breeze Band is coming. It's almost sold out. They've asked me to move the stage back to add more cars. And we give them some food and some drink, and they're jamming. And we've had Doc Rockets here, but we're really looking for the Blue Breeze Band, and that's on March 13th at 3 o'clock. Free of charge. You do have to register because we got to know how many cars are coming in.
Right.
Because we keep the protocol going and the distancing, and it has to be approved by the county, which they all are for this month. So the live concert, we're looking forward to that one. And then after that, March 27th, we're doing a movie night, which the big screen blows up, and it's a drive-in movie. So take the kids, and it's a Field of Dreams because it's a few days before opening day. So. There's a lot going on for seniors, like you said, but also the community members can sign up too. It's not just for seniors. But we want the community members to bring seniors with them because we need the sons and daughters to get those folks out of the house, put them in a safe car, and have them come over and enjoy an afternoon or an evening with us.
You know, and you picked the perfect movie for it, right? Because, I'm thinking, and gosh, I'm hoping he's not listening because he'll kill me. I'm thinking about my dad. You know, he's a little bit reticent. The senior center, I don't know. But Dad would hop in the car and go watch Field of Dreams with me because what a perfect father-son movie. And then, like you said, right before opening day, beautiful time for it and a great way to
and you're going to get a Bella Vita dog too. So you know, this is the movie to come to. A Bella Vita hot dog and a Bella Vita cookie, and you're getting everything. You're going to sit back with your dad and enjoy it. And we wish more families would do that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we will definitely sign up. And I didn't realize I was missing the live concerts that are happening here in Santa Clarita. So we'll check that out. I know you guys have got a book club for seniors, and you mentioned the fitness courses and the art classes and all those different things that are going on. So where can our listeners go to get more information, to register for the drive-in movie night or the concert or the comedy show this weekend? Where do they go?
It's all on our website, and it's myscvcoa.org. So it's myscvcoa.org, or you can call the Senior Center, 661-259-9444, and come and get involved with us and come join us. We're having a good time over here because it's in this pandemic. We're going to try to celebrate our seniors and take care of them in some different ways.
Yeah, and like I said, everybody in the community can get involved. Producer Sarah has dropped the website in the chat here on Facebook Live. If you're listening on Facebook Live, we're talking this morning with CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center, Kevin MacDonald. There's so much more that they're doing to contribute to the community. When we come back, we're going to talk about what you can do to help contribute and support the work that they do. This is SCVI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley, and you're listening to your hometown station, KHTS.
Santa Clarita Valley residents now have greater access to the excellent physicians and high-quality medical services for which Providence Holy Cross is known. Providence Holy Cross Health Center in Santa Clarita features state-of-the-art cancer and imaging technologies, as well as board-certified physicians in a variety of medical specialties. Quality and compassion from a healthcare provider you can depend on. For more information, call 1-888-HEALING or visit us at providence.org.
Sweet, salty, tastiest, bacon and pancakiest. Big yawns are okay, yummy syrups, yes way. Butter pecan, blueberry, old-fashioned strawberry, never empty coffee pot. Mom says it hits the spot. Almonds are the fluffiest, Dad's hugs the scruffiest. Scrambled eggy, pepper shaky, orange juicy, wide awake, stuffed French toastiest. Waffles with the mustiest, buttermilky, smooth, silky, tastes great. Love on a plate.
IHOP, everything you love about breakfast. Moms, dads, this is Cardin Ellis, owner of Unipest. If your house has ants, spiders, or gophers, or you want a free orange oil termite inspection, you have to call Unipest Termite and Pest Control, Santa Clarita's only factory-certified orange oil pest control company. We specialize in organic, low-impact, and traditional pest control options that are all kid-friendly, pet-friendly, and affordable with no contracts, and we're SCV-owned and operated. Call us at 661-BUG-7575 or visit unipest.com.
If you need help at home or at the office, call Made For You. Made For You is a locally owned, bonded, and licensed cleaning service with over 20 years of experience. All employees are vetted for your protection. No need to buy products or equipment. The Made For You staff comes complete with everything needed to make your home or office cleaner than ever. Hire Made For You one time, as needed, or an ongoing basis. No room is off limits. Laundry and ironing services are also available. Call Made For You for a free estimate. 255-2922. That's 255-2922.
Welcome to Dunkin', where safety is their #1 priority. The staff at Dunkin' has daily temperature checks and goes through a series of current health questions prior to each shift. They have all the necessary PPE, including masks, shields, and gloves. In addition, every store is sanitized several times an hour for your protection. Use the Dunkin' app for specials and to order ahead. Carry-out and curbside pickup is available, or have your order delivered by Grubhub, Postmates, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. Dunkin', all-day sandwiches, donuts, bagels, muffins, and of course, hot and cold beverages. Visit Dunkin' on Bouquet, next to Lowe's, or the Dunkin' in Canyon Country on Sierra Highway. The Santa Clarita Valley runs on Dunkin'.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
And welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. We're talking today with Kevin MacDonald. Kevin is the CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. We were talking before the break about all the amazing services that they provide for not just our seniors. Man, they've got all different kinds of events lined up for everybody to participate in. So if you're interested if you're missing live concerts, they've got live concerts going on. They've got a comedy concert going on this weekend. All kinds of great stuff. Check them out at myscvcoa.org, myscvcoa.org. Kevin, we talked before the break about those different events that you guys had going on, but where we're at in the pandemic right now, it's vaccine time, right? Are you guys able to help your members get their COVID vaccine, or how are you supporting that effort?
We're supporting them in making sure they know how to get the vaccine and how to sign up for it. And if they have trouble signing up, they can call our social workers, and we can help them out. But the vaccination, the website is very good. It's vaccinatelacounty.com.
Vaccinate.
And there's another one.
Okay.
Yeah, vaccinatelacounty.com.
All right.
And then the other one to do is also My Turn. It's called myturn.ca.gov. And we encourage our seniors. Right now they're accepting people 65 and over to get their vaccine, so we're encouraging people to do that. They've also opened it up to several special groups, food and agriculture, and some emergency workers, and of course the teachers. So it'll continue to roll out, and we're just encouraging our folks, if they have trouble getting the vaccine, trouble getting there, to give us a call, and we'll try to work with you on that.
Fantastic. Yeah, I know all four of my parents are seniors, and they've all been vaccinated. As a teacher, I've got my appointment for this weekend. As a food worker, my daughter just got her first shot yesterday. So yeah, make sure that you jump on either one of those websites and check it out, whether you're a senior in one of those groups, or they're moving pretty quickly now. Things seem to be really streamlined. So
and Henry Mayo Hospital's been working with us this week,
Yes.
Last couple of weeks. They're just terrific over there and letting us know what the needs are. So we're just really grateful to have that partnership with our hospital.
Yeah, I was going to say that you and the hospital seem to have really partnered to make sure that that none of the vaccines are going to waste and just funneling as many people over there as possible. That is terrific news. Now, I know some of our listeners were listening to the events that you guys have going on, and they're thinking about jumping into that drive-in with Dad or going to the blues concert. But you know how involved our community gets, and I'm sure people are thinking, wow, I'd like to be one of those volunteers that's delivering meals or helping out. How can people get involved if they want to volunteer with the center?
Yeah, they can call our center, and we can hook them up, and there's a process for becoming a Meals on Wheels driver. And we looking for dedicated people long-term. It's not a one-time thing. And they pick a day that they want to help out with a Meals on Wheels route, because we have a lot of routes going out. We have 110 routes going out each and every week. So we definitely need the volunteers that are dedicated to doing that. And we've also had some really interesting things, Matt. We have some father and daughter partnerships with a parent and their daughter with a disability going out together. It's a really natural, inclusive way to do things. So really, these drivers. One lady, Kathy Rydell's been with us 31 years doing it in town.
Oh wow, 31
and
years.
Jackie 31 years in town, and
wow.
Other people are at 17 years and 11 years. Boy, they're doing quite the service. And the other day, we had one person literally save a life. They saw a senior not doing well in their home and called 911 and stayed there and directed the fire department to take care of the individual and literally saved their life that day because they're at the right time and aware of the needs of the senior at the time.
That's so rewarding. What a touching story. I know my sister-in-law delivers with you guys, and it's the highlight of her week. She just absolutely loves it. And
that's it. I mean, your family has gotten involved in many ways. Your sister-in-law is delivering meals. Tony's involved. You're involved. Your mother is my boss as the president of the board of directors of the senior center, Elizabeth Hopp, and that's just it can become really a family affair.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, one of your hallmark events that really supports the center every year and that a lot of us look forward to is the Senior Center Celebrity Waiter event. Our whole family was devastated last year when you guys had to cancel the event in 2020 because of everything that's going on. It had to be tough on you guys. How's the center managing financially? And then can you tell us anything about 2021? Is there going to be a Celebrity Waiter event this year?
Yeah, well, we got it in last year. We were the last event in town.
Oh, okay.
We got it in
Great.
A week before the pandemic hit. So, and that was a big boost to us. And this year we're moving it a little bit. We're going to move it into July. So we have it scheduled for July 17th, and it'll be outdoors, of course, outdoor dining. Okay. And so we're going to do everything outdoors, and we're scheduling for July 17th this year for Celebrity Waiter, and it'll be a wonderful night under the stars called Belle Notte. So Belle Notte at Bella Vita, so we're really looking forward to it.
Now, one of the things that event is really known for is it's kind of a it's really a thematic event where folks come in costume. I remember, and those of you that know Big T and I know how perfect it was. I think Tony and I showed up one year dressed as surfer boys and got confused for Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble. So is it still going to be thematic this year?
Yeah, this is an Italian flair, so you take it from there. Okay? So dress as your favorite Italian or your favorite Italian part and have some fun with it. But no, we're dressing up to the nines again this year and ready to celebrate all the work that's been done at the Senior Center during the pandemic and celebrate our seniors. So, and we, frankly, we need the funding as well. We're a private nonprofit. We need to keep our doors open and our programs going. So it's an important event for us.
Yeah, Big T and I at an Italian affair. Forget about it.
You got it.
All right. Well, like you said, it's an important event, and with nonprofits, it's always a struggle, but especially this year. If our listeners are looking for financial ways to contribute, how can people donate to the center?
They can either send a check to the Senior Center, or they can go to our website. There's a Donate Now button on that, and that was mysevcoa.org. Or just send a note and a check over to the Senior Center, and we sure do appreciate it because it keeps all of our services going.
Yeah, and such important services. I can't hit that hard enough. Let's talk about your clientele, the people that benefit from these services, not just who qualifies age-wise, but let's talk about who should or who does take advantage of these services. Is this just are your clients folks that don't have someone else to get them lunch? What type of senior are we talking about?
It varies so much. I mean, we're also, our target is a family caregiver. who are really the champions in this whole pandemic, too. The people are taking care of their family members at home, and we try to provide supports and services for them as well. And we also want to support the sons and daughters of our seniors. And the more they know about what's happening in the senior community, the more they can assist their family member, whether it's getting on a Zoom call or working the computer a little bit. So, our outreach is to everybody, the whole family is what we're trying to serve. We have a bent towards seniors, of course, but we also have to make sure that the rest of the family is informed about what's out there for their loved ones.
You're right. That's so important to know. It's a family affair, and if your parents are thinking, I don't need that. I'm fine. I'm okay. Well, you might not need the services of the senior center, but you might want to get involved. I mentioned that my one takeaway when I visited is I can't wait until I can start showing up and participating in the wee bowling leagues and shooting pool with the guys out there. You guys have got so much going on. Okay, Kevin. You mentioned you know my mother, you know her quite well, and you know how demanding she can be. But did you know that Mom makes me put my big brother on the radio show every week?
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard. You have a good mother, Matt.
Yeah. Well, so next break we've got Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame coming up. Are you good at trivia? You want to play with us?
I'm not good, but I'm with you.
Perfect. That's the perfect kind of competition that Patty and I like. All right, we've got trivia fun coming up. I'll be facing off with Engineer Patty and Kevin MacDonald, CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. Stick around. You can play along, too. This is SCVI and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley, and you're listening to your hometown station, KHTS.
Hello, KHTS Studio.
Hey, Tori, just calling in, making sure we're all set for Monday. I can't believe it's been almost a year since we've done the morning show together.
Oh, I am totally ready, but let's go down the checklist.
Go.
No more help with remote learning, kids back in school?
Check. Plastic partition between us?
Check. Fresh face masks?
Check. Cake?
Wait, what? Cake?
Yeah, to celebrate my return.
I like how you think. I'm on it. It's good to have you back.
The Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle returns Monday, March 8th at 6 a.m. right here on 98.1 FM and AM 1220, KHTS.
Green Thumb International, your lawn and garden professionals, have the widest variety of shrubs, flowering plants, and garden supplies in the Santa Clarita Valley. Condition and fertilize your soil. Water does not easily penetrate clay soils and may pass too quickly beyond the root zone of plants in sandy soil. Adding organic matter to these soils will help correct imbalances and reduce water waste. On Newhall Avenue in Old Town Newhall near Sierra Highway, Green Thumb puts the green in your thumb.
Bring your life. We'll help you make the most of it. Introducing 5 Point Valencia, a familiar place, and yet wonderfully different. With a fresh mix of homes, schools, parks, trails, and open space. All tuned to the way people want to live today. Learn more at Valencia.com.
Welcome to Dunkin', where safety is their #1 priority. The staff at Dunkin' has daily temperature checks and goes through a series of current health questions prior to each shift. They have all the necessary PPE, including masks, shields, and gloves. In addition, every store is sanitized several times an hour for your protection. Use the Dunkin' app for specials and to order ahead. Carry-out and curbside pickup is available, or have your order delivered by Grubhub, Postmates, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. Dunkin', all-day sandwiches, donuts, bagels, muffins, and of course, hot and cold beverages. Visit Dunkin' on Bouquet, next to Lowe's, or the Dunkin' in Canyon Country on Sierra Highway. The Santa Clarita Valley runs on Dunkin'.
Coyote Creek Locations, there's lots to offer. 3 acres of manicured landscape, actually in the heart of Agua Dulce in the Santa Clarita Valley. Craving the outdoors? I know I am. What about a baby shower, wedding ceremony, reception, picnic, holiday parties? Everything's been moved outside. We need to support healthy space and distancing, I know. But it's not how far apart we are, it's definitely about the treasured memories we create. Making moments with loved ones, friends, family. How do you beat that? Go to CoyoteCreekLocations.com. You've got to book your next perfect event. CoyoteCreekLocations.com.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit PattersonsCollisionCenter.com. or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
Are you looking for educational flexibility and choice? Look no further than your front door. iLEAD Exploration's independent study program is passionate about personalized learning. Our mission is to inspire learners to become creative problem solvers, compassionate leaders, conscientious collaborators, and responsible citizens who develop a lifelong love of learning. Our families partner with a credentialed teacher to customize each child's educational path. Families access community partners to choose a variety of in-person, online, and at-home options to create an optimal learning environment for each learner. Our program also values community, and through a variety of field studies, service projects, park days, and family gatherings, we provide many opportunities to foster friendships. Because there are currently in-person limitations due to COVID, we are offering activities online through webinars and virtual field trips. iLEAD Exploration is a tuition-free, independent study charter school program serving grades TK through 12 in Los Angeles, Orange, Kern, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties. To learn more about our program, visit iLEADexploration.org. iLEAD Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Did you hear that? The boss queued me right up. To learn more about iLEAD Exploration, go to iLEADexploration.org or just stick around. They're going to be on next hour. But before that, well, I should probably do the welcome back, right? You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. And now it is time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Big T is a longtime resident and leader in the Santa Clarita Valley. He's a business leader. He's a philanthropist. He is the quintessential family man and community member. And he once broke up with a girl because she didn't go with his outfit. Crazy. He's mom's favorite. Big T, welcome back to the show.
That may be true.
I remember.
How are you, Maddie?
I'm doing well. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Excited that Kevin's on with us today.
Yeah, Kevin stuck around. He's going to try his hand at trivia this morning. We've got Engineer Patty here, so there's the three of us that are going to be playing this morning.
Hey, just in case you beat Kevin in trivia, Matt, don't let it go to your head. Your mother is his boss. He has to lose.
Okay, that's good to know. All righty, what do you got for us, brother? Yes.
I got a lot of sports trivia today since we got the three fellows going. So, Kevin, I think Matt explained to it. Your name is your buzzer. I'll go ahead and get started. If you think you know the answer before the question is finished, you can still buzz in at that time to beat your opponent. I'll call on you at that point. You will not get the end of the question, though. So we ready, boys?
Well, and an advantage for our home listeners, you don't have to shout your name. Just shout out the answer right there in your living room.
But, hey, everybody needs to wake up anyways.
Right.
So the Miami Dolphins helmets have a picture of a dolphin wearing a helmet. What is on the helmet of the dolphin?
Patty.
A
picture of, it's literally the dolphin's helmet on the dolphin.
Incorrect.
Well, like shoot. Is it like the Matrix?
Yeah, like Inception.
Frogger, is it just a D?
It's not a D, but that's pretty close, Kevin.
Oh, come on.
It is the letter M.
I was going to say, Kevin, they play in Miami.
Oh, I didn't look close enough, but that's close enough.
There you go.
All right, cool. Still no score.
The Green Bay Packers won the championship in the very first Super Bowl. What year was it played in?
Frogger. 1963.
Incorrect. A little later.
Kevin, 1967.
Nice job, Kevin.
I was thinking that too. I should have.
Who was the Packers quarterback that year?
Lombardi. Bart Starr.
Lombardi was the coach. Bart Starr was the quarterback. Correct. Kevin's on the board with 2. Don't forget to shout your name, Kevin.
He got the answer before I realized we even had a question.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, he's quick like that.
Yeah, he is.
He went to Cal.
All right, Patty, we got to step our game up.
All right.
Which coach won Super Bowl 41, becoming the first black coach to win a Super Bowl?
Frogger. Mike Tomlin.
Incorrect.
Dang.
Oh.
Patty was with the Colts.
Oh, Patty! Tony Dungy!
Patty. Tony Dungy.
On the
correct.
board.
Did you say your name and I missed it?
No.
The U.S. Open's main court is named after what tennis player?
Patty. Federer?
Patty. No, he was a Bruin.
Frogger.
Kevin.
Ash.
Kevin beat him.
Ash.
Arthur Ashe is correct.
Man, I had that one.
So as I mentioned earlier, and I think Frogger did as well, Kevin went to Cal, and so I like to work some fun facts in with our trivia. So on Berkeley's campus, standing 307 feet tall, the Campanile, or the Sather Tower, is the third tallest bell and clock tower in the world. The campus at Berkeley, the colors are blue and gold. Blue was chosen for the California skyline and ocean and the Yale graduates that moved west to establish the university, and gold was chosen for the Golden State. They also, those two colors set the bar for the rest of the UC system, having everybody else copy Cal, as they've always done, right, Kevin? With colors and some with mascots and other things. It's also tradition for the students to roll down 4.0 Hill on campus in order to get good grades, and it's said that if you step on the Berkeley seal, you'll be cursed for the entire year. And they think they're smart. The Big C on campus was built in 1905, and it sits in the hills overlooking the campus. Other universities in the UC system have also copied that Big C. So that leads me into local Hart-High quarterback, legend, and is the only quarterback to ever play in the Rose Bowl, the Grey Cup, the Pro Bowl, and the Super Bowl. Do we know who that is?
Yeah, I'm out. Man.
Patty Matt Moore?
Incorrect. He also went to Cal.
I know there's
that
another.
That would be Joe Cap.
Joe Cap.
A long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
A long time ago.
Now another Cal fun fact. In 1958, when Joe Cap played in the Rose Bowl, that was the last year that Cal played there.
That's not funny.
Who's the greatest quarterback to ever play at Cal?
Frogger. Mike Pulaski.
Incorrect.
Patty.
Kyle Bowler.
Kevin.
Matt, you got to wait your turn. It's not Kyle Bowler. Karen?
Kevin,
you were next.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is correct.
Oh, yeah, he was so close.
Kevin, did you know Mike Pulaski?
No.
Come on, you sat next to him in civics.
What model car did Thelma and Louise drive into the Grand Canyon?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Coupe de Ville.
Incorrect.
Never saw the movie.
Thunderbird.
Okay.
What did engineer Andrew give up for Lent?
Oh, Frogger. Playing trivia on Eye on the Valley.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, I'm on the board.
If you were running a triathlon, how many miles would you log just running?
Kevin.
Kevin.
26.2.
Good pull, Kevin. Yes, it is a marathon.
Jeez, he's cleaning our
In
clocks.
tennis, how many points is love?
Kevin.
Kevin.
0.
0 is correct.
Dude.
See, Matt, he's not even worrying about your mom being his boss.
Yeah, I know. She is the outgoing president. Forget it. Take the gloves off.
All right, we got some music and some sports-related terms, so you have to be specific and let me know what I'm looking for. First one, we're going to go back to the 80s. Save a Prayer, Rio,
Frogger.
Girls on Film, Frogger.
We're going for the band, right? Duran Duran.
Yeah. Duran Duran is the band, correct.
Okay, this is when I stage my comeback.
Ace, Closer,
Frogger.
Patty.
Frogger.
After.
Those are pitchers.
Types of pitchers. Lefty Specialist was the last. Music-related, Downtown Train, Maggie May, You're in My Heart.
Frogger. That's Rod Stewart.
Frogger. Give me your man card.
Where'd you go, Kevin? Where'd you go?
Sports-related, Hook, Bank, Layup,
Patty.
Patty.
What are terms for basketball?
Frogger. I'm going basketball
Patty, we
shots.
need a little bit more specific.
Oh.
I'm going to give you the chance, Patty.
Basketball shots, like a layup, shooting, threes, all that good stuff.
I gotta
Inside.
back off.
Matt is seething right now at his basketball shots.
Yeah, I
We'll
know.
give that to
We got about 1 more minute, Big T.
All right. Faithfully, open arms, wheel in the sky. Don't
Frogger.
Stop believing. Frogger.
That would be Journey.
Journey is correct.
Oh.
Fullback. Halfback.
Patty, what are positions for football?
Incorrect. Forward.
Oh.
Goalie.
Oh, he
Frogger.
got me. He got
Kevin.
me.
Kevin got you, Matt. Incorrect, Matt.
Those are soccer positions.
Soccer positions correct.
And I
Walk
tied
this
it
way,
up.
King of Rock.
Say it again.
Yep. Walk this way. Walk
Frogger.
this way. Go ahead.
Those are Run DMC songs.
Run DMC, King of Rock, Sucker MC is the Run's house.
Boom. Whose
Last
house?
one. Ephus. Gopher Ball, High Cheese, Uncle Charlie.
Frogger.
Frogger.
Those are nicknames for pitches in baseball.
Those are nicknames for pitches. You got time for one more? You want me to go?
How we doing, Patty?
We got a minute 17.
Go, yeah.
Oh, we're good.
One more.
Hello, Penny Lover.
Frogger.
Stuck on You. Go ahead again.
I'll put my man card in the mail now. That's Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie. Nickel, Dime, Zone, Blitz, 4-3.
Frogger.
Kevin.
Frogger.
Those are football defenses.
Football defense is correct. My man, God bless this child, them their eyes, Billy's Blues. Billie Holiday songs.
Okay.
Ice Water, Money, Clutch, Gamer. Those are all terms for people that deliver when it counts.
Yeah, time's up.
Closers, okay? All
Big
right.
T, we got to bail, man. As always, thanks for popping by. Kevin MacDonald, CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center, thank you so much for joining us. Both of you have a great weekend. When we come back, we'll be talking what high school looks like in homeschool with a few of our iLEAD Exploration team. Stay tuned. I'm Matt Watson. You're listening to Eye on the Valley on KHTS.
Traffic brought to you by Reeves Automotive and the CHP, who remind automobile drivers that motorcyclists can be hidden in your car's blind spot. Always take a second look when changing lanes or turning at intersections. Your following distance should always be at least 4 seconds.
Save water and save money. SCV Water wants to help you find your fit and take advantage of conservation rebate programs that will help you save. Water your landscape more efficiently. Replace your lawn with water-wise plants. Conduct free in-home water surveys. Cover your swimming pool and more. Find the programs that fit your needs and start saving today. Visit conserve.yourscvwater.com to learn more.
That's conserve.yourscvwater.com.
When you look at your child, you see so much. A creative spirit that surprises you every day. A little leader growing to discover who they are, what they love, and how they can make the world better. At SCVI, we see those same amazing things. Our tuition-free TK through 12 charter school provides boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely, with a learning program customized just for your child. Today, that means empowering your child to bring strengths and passions to the distance learning environment. Our approach keeps your child and family in step while online, inspiring your learner to keep growing without missing a beat. At SCVI, your child will find even more ways to grow with projects and activities in STEAM, robotics, theater, music, and sports. With the only international baccalaureate program in Santa Clarita, SCVI produces graduates who excel at top universities and in life. For enrollment information or to learn more about our distance learning program, visit iLEADSantaClarita.org. iLEAD Schools. Free to think, inspired to lead.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 9 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
Vote after vote. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, as the Senate takes up the president's American Rescue Plan over Republican objections about the cost and the process. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham says they came together on COVID bills in the past.
But that is all over now because my Democratic colleagues have chosen to go another way because they can.
Also arguing there's more than $1 trillion not spent yet from previous bills. Fox's Jared Halpern has more live.
A $1.9 trillion COVID relief measure is on track for final approval in the Senate tonight, maybe tomorrow. A vote-a-rama is underway, a lengthy series of debates and votes on proposed amendments. A proposal from Vermont Independent Bernie Sanders to include a $15 an hour minimum wage failed to win majority support, but Democrats have settled on a change to unemployment benefits, extending the federal enhancement through September instead of through August, but at $300 per week instead of $400 per week. The Senate version will need to be returned to the House for a vote there next week. Lisa.
Thanks, Jared. The Biden administration still insisting the entire plan is needed, but the new jobs report is much better than expected.
Unemployment ticked down slightly to 6.2%, and 379,000 more people were hired in February. Most of them, 355,000, were in the leisure and hospitality sector.
Fox's Lillian Wu, White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain tweeting, even at that pace, it would take until April of 2023 to get back to where jobs were before last year's shutdowns, some 10 million more jobs than now. At a White House COVID briefing, the CDC chief says the current numbers remain concerning, also making another pitch for leaving mask mandates in place. Meantime, the World Health Organization now says the results of a recent trip to Wuhan investigating the origins of the virus are expected in mid-March. In other words, soon. America is listening to Fox News.
What's the most important factor for determining a coin's value?
Rarity.
And now, the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in the creation of a modern rarity.
When the West Point Mint was shut down due to health concerns, 240,000 emergency production 2020 American Eagle silver dollars were minted in Philadelphia for 13 days only.
And that makes these coins with the P-Mint attribution the second rarest coin in the entire American Eagle bullion coin series.
Less than 1,500 of these extraordinary silver dollar coins remain. Hurry, call government.com at 1-800-573-6468.
To learn more about these emergency production American Eagle silver dollar coins, call 1-800-573-6468.
Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $10 value free with every order. Call 1-800-573-6468 now to secure your Philadelphia Mint American Eagle silver dollar coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-573-6468.
First ever visit by a pope to Iraq is underway.
In a speech at Iraq's presidential palace, Pope Francis urged Iraqis to protect their religious minorities. He said they are a precious resource, not an obstacle to be eliminated. And he said Iraqis of all faiths should have the same rights as the country's Shiite Muslim majority.
Viva! Viva! Viva!
Earlier, crowds gathered near Baghdad airport as the Pope's plane landed. He was greeted by the Iraqi Prime Minister at the start of a 4-day visit aimed at encouraging Iraqi Christians. In London, Simon Owen, Fox News.
An NFL referee will make history in the new season. The league announcing Maya Chaka is added to the officiating roster, first black woman official in NFL history. This after a collegiate officiating career that included stints in the Pac-12 and Conference USA. NFL Executive VP of Football Operations Troy Vincent calling Chaka a trailblazer, while also noting Women's History Month. A not-so-random act of kindness.
Brian Baum, a Burger King manager in Michigan, is being praised online for going above and beyond to find a woman's lost wedding ring. Danielle Ashley says she went to clean the ice from her windshield at the fast food joint when her ring fell off and disappeared in the snow. The manager spent 2 weeks looking for the lost ring until he found it. And now Brian Baum is set to be named his location's Employee of the Month for March. Ashley explained her late husband Dan bought the ring for her in 1965 before heading off to Vietnam. Dan passed away 8 years ago following complications related to Agent Orange. Monica DeLuca, Fox News.
Stocks turning mixed. The Dow's up 58 points. The NASDAQ down more than 1%. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox
I'm
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks are mixed after a higher open on optimism about the economic recovery after February's stronger than expected reading on the job market. There were 379,000 new jobs created last month, many more than forecast. Gap shares are higher after its executives predicted a rebound in clothing sales in the second half of this year. Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings shares are lower after the company revealed plans to sell stock to pay down debt. Oil prices are higher after OPEC decided not to cut production in April. That's expected to result in higher gas prices. HBC, the owner of Saks Fifth Avenue, is launching the Saks Online unit as its own company. Saks Online business is valued at $2 billion. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you. Visit Cintas.com and get ready.
To KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260 CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
Hello, KHTS Studio.
Hey, Tori, just calling in, making sure we're all set for Monday. I can't believe it's been almost a year since we've done the morning show together.
Oh, I am totally ready, but let's go down the checklist.
Go.
No more help with remote learning, kids back in school?
Check. Plastic partition between us?
Check. Fresh face masks?
Check. Cake?
Wait, what? Cake?
Yeah, to celebrate my return.
I like how you think. I'm on it. It's good to have you back.
The Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle returns Monday, March 8th at 6 a.m. right here on 98.1 FM and AM 1220, KHTS.
Donahoe, Young & Williams is your award-winning go-to law firm for all real estate matters, including the changing legal landscape due to COVID-19. In addition, Donahoe, Young & Williams can help you create an estate plan that accomplishes your wishes, protects you and your family, and avoids time-consuming and expensive California probate. If you've been financially devastated by the pandemic, Donahoe, Young & Williams can help with debt negotiation and, when needed, bankruptcy under Chapters 7, 11, and 13. Visit Taylor Williams at dywlaw.com.
Bring your life. We'll help you make the most of it. Introducing 5 Point Valencia, a familiar place, and yet wonderfully different, with a fresh mix of homes, schools, parks, trails, and open space. All tuned to the way people want to live today. Learn more at valencia.com.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, your host. You are listening to SCVI and iLEAD Schools' Eye on the Valley. And if you were listening to last hour, you know we ended with a very rousing trivia round where Kevin MacDonald, the CEO of the Senior Center, jumped out to a commanding 6-1-2 lead. But in the lightning round, Frogger came back and won it 10-6-2. I dusted you guys in that last round, Patty. Anyways, at iLEAD Schools, our mission is to provide high-quality, personalized education to every single learner. Educational leader Sidney Morrison once said, if a child cannot learn the way we are teaching, then we must learn to teach the way the child learns, which is precisely why at iLEAD Schools we offer classroom-based instruction, online classes, hybrid learning, independent study, as well as one of the region's most renowned homeschool options in iLEAD Exploration. iLEAD Exploration offers families a homeschool option with as much or as little support as they need. We serve families across Southern California in grades transitional kindergarten through high school. Today we welcome 3 members of the high school team. Laura Kazan, I mispronounced that. Laura Kazan started her educational career as an English teacher, working in Istanbul of all places. She herself is a parent who homeschooled her own son. She's passionate about providing access to all students and is fulfilled by providing college access points to homeschooling families. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
We're glad to have you, and I apologize for your last name. I even asked you off the air, and look at that. I blew it. I was just so proud of myself for winning trivia that I just fumbled at the end zone. Lisa Rittenhouse worked in education from 1989 to 1994 as a public high school 9th and 10th grade teacher in Torrance, where she coached the academic decathlon team. But when she had her own children, she chose to step back and homeschool them. And as they grew up, she gradually went back into education. A year and a half later, she came to iLEAD and has been part of the iLEAD Exploration team since its founding. Lisa, good morning.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're glad you're here. And your colleague, Bethany Maddox, is here. Bethany is a graduate of Azusa Pacific University, where she earned both her bachelor's and her graduate degree. She's been working as a high school counselor since 2007. She's now the lead academic counselor for iLEAD Exploration's high school program. Bethany, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Hi, good to be here.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. I know you guys have got so much going on with your families that are really all over your communities. But Bethany, let's start with you this morning. What drew you to becoming a high school counselor in the first place? What made you want to be a high school counselor?
I had wanted to be a counselor of some sort from a really young age. And for me, I actually went into college with the goal of being a therapist. But as I started to get to that point where you have to decide what's next, I started to think, I don't really like adults that much. I want to work with kids.
No offense taken.
No offense. I really love the idea of working with kids, and especially teenagers, at that point in life where they're really starting to figure things out. So it was interesting. I did a career assessment interest inventory for part of a class in college. And high school counselor popped up on the list, and it was like it just clicked. So from that point forward, I started researching, what do you do to become a high school counselor? And I've been sold ever since, so it's been a really great experience.
Yeah, it's kind of a selfish service, right? You get to serve so many, and you provide such an amazing service, but it's such a rewarding job, and really kind of gives you a high by serving kids and helping them get started in life. Laura, what about you? How did you get started on learning about college accessibility and for homeschoolers specifically? What got you into getting homeschoolers specifically into college?
Well, as you mentioned before, I started as an English teacher in a foreign country, and I had been teaching on and off for quite a few years when I realized that what I was really interested in was higher education. So off I went to get a PhD in higher education, started learning about access, getting kids to college, who has access to college and who does not. And my world kind of exploded when I needed to pull my own son out of his own middle school, and I found myself in this community. And that was the end of my PhD. Unfortunately, homeschooling had to take priority. But I noticed an access issue in our community. And so I just started really diving in, and I ended up at iLEAD. A number of schools reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you like to do counseling?" And I kind of waited, and then iLEAD showed up, and I jumped on it. I really liked the school and their attitude towards their kids. So here I am.
Well, we're really fortunate that you caught our wave. We're really blessed to have you. Now, Lisa, why don't you tell us about your role with the iLEAD Exploration team? Well, what is it that you do? What role do you play?
Well, as the high school coordinator, I work with the entire team of high school staff members, from the counseling team that we've just talked to, our two counseling advisors and college advisor. And I also work with the A to G advisor who works with our support subject expert teachers. And I also work on the community side with our facilitators who oversee NHS and ASB, and then I'm kind of involved with graduation planning and all of those things. And I help strategize solutions when issues arise with families and facilitators.
Fantastic. Now, Lisa, you did what a lot of us educators do. We've made up this language so that the rest of the world can't understand what we're talking about with our alphabet soup. You talked about how you're the A to G advisor. Does that mean that you advise students whose last name ends with A through G? I know that's not true. Can you explain to our listeners a little bit about what the A to G advisory portion of your job means?
Okay. I actually work with Nicole Baird, who oversees that team. And A to G is just the system that the UC schools has in place for the courses that are required for college admissions to the UC system or CSU system. And so we want to make sure that our families have access to these very specific A to G courses so that they can apply to UC CSU.
Right. So the state university system here in California has actually a pretty rigorous set of requirements for what high school classes will actually give you credit toward college admission. There's that long-standing joke of underwater basket weaving. I played basketball and I did underwater basket weaving and listened to music in shop class all day long and got into college. Well, those A to G requirements are to make sure that kids are taking a rigorous coursework to move through, which can be kind of tricky in a homeschool program, can it?
Yeah, actually, we have lots of access to rigorous courses, and I'm sure Bethany and Laura can chime in. We have we have at-home options. The flexibility in our program also allows our learners to pull in some online options and some in-person opportunities as well. And we just make sure that we have the team in place to oversee so that they are getting the level of rigor that they need, and they're addressing those requirements really for for them to be prepared for college, whether it is in the state or out of state. All of it, we want all of our kids to have access to college or career, whatever it is that they want to pursue after high school. And we just want to make sure that they have the tools that they need in our program to be able to do that, whether that's college or career.
The level of support that you guys provide is just absolutely amazing. You mentioned that our families have access to just a litany of online courses, and that's just one of many possible veins that our families could choose. And you all play such an important role in helping direct our families. Bethany, let's talk about that for a little bit. At iLEAD, we use a little bit different nomenclature. We refer to our teachers actually kind of differently throughout the different programs. All of our educators are credentialed, but we don't teach in the traditional way. So our classroom teachers, we refer to them as facilitators. Online, we have some facilitators and some academic coaches. With Exploration, you are educational facilitators or EFs on top of counseling and doing all the different things that you guys do. But if a family's doing the teaching at homeschool, then what do the EFs do? Can you tell us a little bit about what an EF does for iLEAD Exploration learners?
Sure. So it's not always a family because we do have those online classes and some other in-person options where there are teachers there as well that help facilitate the learning. But our educational facilitators that we refer to as EFs work directly with those families. So they are assigning work on a monthly basis that basically they work with that family to outline and determine, what needs to be completed within the course in a given, what we call a learning period in independent study. And so they work directly with the families to make sure that the classes are meeting California state standards, that the work that they're doing is at grade level. They work with the families really closely, actually, to make sure that everything is, being done correctly and on board, and everybody's sort of meeting the needs that they have.
Yeah, because there are those requirements. All of our learners need to meet the different state requirements, and you guys also keep them on track toward whatever their post-graduation goals are. But then there's also, it's funny, when you talk to a family that's never considered homeschooling before, they tend to bring up the same type of question, and it usually starts with, but how would I? Well, that's where the EF comes in and provides all that support to answer those questions. How would I, right? And so,
absolutely.
So you guys provide, as I said, just a tremendous amount of support where it's needed, where a family feels that they can be a little bit more autonomous. Then you guys can step back and just make sure that the requirements are being met. So it's just, again, providing that really individualized, customized educational experience for each one of your learners. Now, Laura, there are still, even in 2021, a lot of myths around homeschooling kids, especially kids who are a little bit older, getting into the high school age. One of them being that that high schoolers in a homeschool program really can't go to college. Can you talk to us about that myth? Why is that a myth? And can you talk to us about the reality about it?
So, first of all, I want to just jump back on one thing that you said and then dive into this myth that truly is a myth. It's incorrect. And that is when you're with a program like iLEAD, while the parent and the student are directing their own education, our college-bound learners especially have a lot of teacher input to make sure that they are really on a rigorous scale. They are receiving grades that are teacher-driven. I think this is really important because one of the things that we offer when a student is applying to college, it's a little bit easier to do it through iLEAD than it would be through traditional homeschooling because we provide sort of a legitimate transcript, a WASC-accredited legitimate transcript, and we can verify to colleges that the students are college-ready. So this is one of the differences between going through a homeschool program like iLEAD and going through a traditional homeschool situation. So I wanted to really touch on that. So to dive into your question about the myth, the homeschoolers go to college, whether they're with a homeschool program like ours or whether they're more traditional homeschoolers, which in California, it's a private school affidavit. So there's several different routes in California. I mean, no matter which route you take, college can be the goal, whether it is your local Cal State, I'm in Long Beach, that would be Cal State Long Beach, whether it is an Ivy League school and everything in between. I think that's important to do. And so we guide them. We make sure they have the right classes. We make sure that they are college ready with those classes. And then I can tell you that it's a myth because our college results are coming in right now, and they are fabulous. We have kids being accepted all over the country. And one of the nice things about homeschooling is that those extracurricular activities that mean so much to colleges like our UC system and all other places, our kids have time. And so not only can they go to college and they're well prepared for college, but they've got that extra magic that is really sought out by colleges. They're just better able to handle the work because they've been independent. So yeah, definitely a myth. Definitely a myth.
So they've developed that kind of agency, that grit, that authentic kind of work ethic that they need to develop. You mentioned that this idea is a myth because you've seen the college acceptances rolling in. So brag about it a little bit. What are some of the schools that iLEAD Exploration learners are getting into?
Well, the University of California results are just trickling in. So
Okay.
the very first ones, we've got UC Santa Cruz and UC Riverside have released their decisions. We have kids in.
All
The
right.
Cal State system has released their decisions. We have kids everywhere. Private schools are coming in too. We've had kids admitted to fabulous places. We had a student admitted to Howard University, which is great. That's our vice president's university.
Wow.
Yes. And so, we've got kids. We have kids getting in to colleges all over the nation. And so one of the things that I like to do is really introduce students to colleges that would be really friendly to a homeschooler, and that would be really comfortable. And we've got them everywhere. We've got kids going accepted to Reed, and we've got kids accepted to public schools, University of Arizona. I think we're up to maybe about 50 colleges from coast to coast.
You've got wildcats, you've got banana slugs, buffaloes, you've got kids going all over the country. Really, that is fantastic. We're talking with a few of the members of the high school team at iLEAD Exploration, iLEAD's innovative and burgeoning homeschool program. We need to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking about how colleges are shifting their admission requirements and what this means for your kids, whether they're in homeschool or not. You're listening to SCVI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
Consumers Furniture is back open for your business. The safety of our community and our staff, above all, is most important to us. We will provide a safe and clean environment for you to find the perfect piece of furniture for your home. To help you with your purchase, we are offering 25% off your entire order or 24 months same as cash financing. And for our awesome essential workers, we will deliver locally your furniture free of charge. Consumers Furniture is located in the Centerpoint Shopping Center below Sam's Club and Walmart.
If you'd like to take your business up a notch, take a look at Elite Magazine.
Linda and Mo Hafizi, owners of our Valley's two leading magazines, the Magazine of Santa Clarita and Elite.
I'm so proud of Elite. It allows your advertisement to stand out. We distribute Elite to 50,000 homes and businesses. You'll find us in 1,900 local hotel rooms.
Discover how Elite Magazine can help your business. Call 294-4444.
Superior quality is second nature to us. Just ask our advertisers.
Excellence isn't just a word, it is what we deliver. Vanguard Protection Group is committed to providing its clients with the highest echelon of protective services available. Our clients not only receive the security services they contract for, but also reports that are well-written, articulate, and thorough. Our patrol officers operate at the highest levels and have an impressive rapport with local law enforcement. With military, police, private policing, and courtroom experience, you can trust that we have the strength to deliver our promise of excellence. Contact Vanguard Protection by calling 661-753-3611 or visiting their website at vanguardprotectiongroup.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station. 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm your host, Matt Watson. We're talking this morning with Laura Kazan, Bethany Maddox, and Lisa Rittenhouse with iLEAD Exploration. They work specifically to support our homeschool high schoolers. And we were talking before the break with Laura about some of the schools that are some of the colleges that our homeschool high schoolers are getting into. And we were talking during the commercial about how it's not just getting into college isn't just a list top to bottom of this is the best school on down to the worst school, but it's more about matching the students with the best school for them. And so oftentimes those are schools that, well, maybe the general public hasn't necessarily heard of. And so what's the school that might be the best for my child isn't necessarily the school that would be best for your child. And the work that these ladies do to help families and students make the right match is just amazing. Now, ladies, I want to get to your personal journey a little bit and what brought you to iLEAD. Laura, let's start with you. What do you like about working with iLEAD Exploration? What attracted you to our school?
I think, first of all, it's quality. There's a lot of choices of independent study charters like ours, homeschool charters. And I guess I can toot our own horn here, but we're a cut above, especially our high school program. We have been given this freedom that I don't know if other charters have been given to build something special. And we really have been allowed. I feel like I've been getting incredible freedom to create whatever I think will work best for our kids. And I don't know if I would have gotten this level of freedom and just out of the box thinking at any other school. This has been the biggest thing. It's the freedom that iLEAD has given me to work with our kids.
That's exciting to hear. I've been in education for over 25 years, and that's the one thing that teachers are constantly saying. Look, I went to school for 6, 7, 8 years, and I am an expert in my field. Why won't, and you name it, the government, the school, the district, whatever, just let me do what I know is best for kids? And you guys are given the freedom to do that. That's great to hear. Bethany, what about you? What makes working at iLEAD Exploration a good fit for you? We talked about a good fit for kids. What makes our program a good fit for you and your family?
So my answer is going to be kind of similar to Laura's in that I feel like the people that I work with here really value me. And I've worked in places before where I didn't feel the same level of appreciation, let's say. And so it's a really warm environment for me. Which seems strange to say when we mostly work remotely to feel like I work in a warm environment, but I do. I feel like the people that are part of this iLEAD environment are just warm and inviting and very supportive. And, I feel like when I say something, people are listening. People have, put value on my opinion, seek out my opinion on things. And like you said, I've been doing independent study now for over a decade. So I have some experience in that specifically. And so to have people really seek out and respect my opinion on things is a great experience and great feeling.
Bethany, you're absolutely right, and I think that that can almost be paradoxical, right? That the nature of iLEAD Exploration and independent study can be so remote, but you guys do such an amazing job coming together as a team and bringing your families together as well. And I know you guys were pivotal to helping our campus-based schools when we went to remote learning. And in fact, a lot of those schools have received quite a bit of press about the services that they've been able to provide while we've been distance learning. But a lot of what they're doing is based off of what you guys have been doing for years at Exploration. Now, Lisa, I've got a two-parter for you here. So you've been with Exploration since the beginning, since the foundations of our school, but there are honestly a lot of homeschool programs out there. So what attracted you to iLEAD, and then how have you seen our program grow? How have you seen our program grow since we were founded?
Good question.
All right.
Yeah, well, in the beginning, we were really looking for a program that valued home study perspectives and growth. And what we really loved about iLEAD was the project-based learning opportunities and the learner-driven really perspective of getting in there and following passions and interests based on what the learner is really passionate about. And that was, for me, a big shift. I said, this is going to be a good fit because that's what our homeschoolers do. They work on projects at home. They really go after those things that they're most interested in. And I love that we have a program that really helps to foster those interests, and we kind of build it into their learning plan if we can. And since the beginning, we've grown in not just numbers. I mean, the first year we had a handful of high schoolers with no graduates. And I think the second year we had we celebrated a small number of graduates, and I think we had 2. And one of those graduates was a learner on my roster. So we had a celebration, a ceremony just for those 2. It was amazing. But now we've grown to a high school of over 550. We have over 3,300 learners in the school from K through 12. But our structure for the high school has grown. We started, we were just learning how to navigate these systems and pull in opportunities for, getting kids to college. But we really were in a place where we needed strong systems to start with. So we've grown in that structure. We've pulled in the A to G options, as we talked about, and that subject expert teacher support that was so necessary. And we really pulled in once we got Bethany in. And now we have another academic counselor, Heather Fecarata, who's also on our team. The two of them are amazing. They divide up all of those 550 learners, and they're able to personally meet with them about their schedules. So that has really boosted our program, and pulling in Laura with college advisement is great. And we've also grown in community areas. We have this growing number of students who want to connect, even though we're across 5 counties. They meet virtually for NHS, National Honor Society. We've got about 24, 25 kids in that this year, and they focus on service learning and also connecting with each other and leadership opportunities. We also have an ASB team that has about 15 learners in it, I think, and they have grown organically. They connect with each other, and they're starting clubs, and it's been really exciting to see our learners taking the initiative there. So we've grown in lots of ways, but I'm really proud, especially of this high school team and how it's making a difference for families.
Absolutely, and I can only imagine our listeners who might not be as familiar with homeschooling, or maybe might not be as familiar with iLEAD Exploration. It's not what we traditionally conceive of as homeschool. You guys have got a lot going on. Now, Laura, even before the pandemic, college requirements were starting to shift. Let's talk about what colleges are starting to go to, because the pandemic really accelerated that shift for kids who are juniors and seniors right now. We're hearing that a lot of colleges and universities are no longer requiring SAT tests, for example. Can you talk about some of the shifts that you're seeing for young people applying to colleges, and how maybe the pandemic has affected those changes?
Well, most people that know me know I'm a big part of the test-optional, test-free movement across the country. I've had a hand in that for quite a while. A lot of people don't realize that my own oldest son actually was a perfect scorer, so it's kind of an ironic thing that I am part of this whole movement for test freedom, to allow students access to college, because testing is a barrier. It keeps certain kids out. And it's a gatekeeper. And so before the pandemic, there was already a movement. Many colleges were allowing students to choose whether they were going to submit test scores or not. And they started using the grades and the rigor of a transcript to really understand the student better than the score from 3 hours on a Saturday morning of the ACT or the SAT. And what happened was pandemic. I mean, everything just exploded, and suddenly there were no tests to be taken because there were no high schools open to offer those tests. And suddenly everyone from the Ivy League schools to the University of California, to colleges all over the nation they had no choice but to become either test optional, meaning the student, if they had access, can choose to submit the test. And if a student didn't have access, they can choose not to submit. Or if they didn't like their score, they could also choose not to submit.
Oh, wow.
And our system, the University of California system and our California state system, went a step further. And they became what we call test-free. Sometimes it's called test-blind. I'm a test-free word person. But they went test-free, meaning even if you had a test, and even if you had a perfect score on a test, they were not going to use that score or even look at that score in admission. And what they found, what all these schools found is number one, they had a large increase in applications. So more people felt that they could apply And what I found is it wasn't just that they thought they could apply to specific schools that they couldn't have before. We had kids that weren't planning to apply to college at all. They were going to go to a community college because the test truly was a barrier.
Yeah.
And no iLEAD students this year had access to a test. No iLEAD student had a test score. It didn't make any difference in their admission, but it made a huge difference in the kids willing to go to four-year colleges this year. So removing that test barrier has made a huge difference. And the students that have been applying, there's been a large increase in underrepresented students who normally would not have applied because that test truly is a barrier. And that's one of the increases that schools have seen. The UCs, especially University of California, has seen an increase in students that would normally have been locked out through a score that you get in 3 hours on a Saturday. And so I'm really excited. And, the word from the overseeing organization that kind of follows this FAIR test, the thought process is that so many of these colleges saw an increase in students that they normally wouldn't see. There's no way that the test can fully come back at many of these colleges. Many of them are going to remain test optional, even though that wasn't a thought process before the pandemic. And so this has been a huge movement, a change, a massive shift in education in general. And it is fabulous. It is access in motion. Well, I'm excited.
Well, it's really exciting. When I was in high school, I would have described the SAT as the test that you take so that you can get into college. But you're absolutely right. It was a way to sort me out of college if I didn't qualify. No wonder I was so stressed when I was getting ready for that test. That's incredible. Now, Lisa, talking about policies and practices designed to keep people out, we've been hit by some pretty rough legislation here in California in regards to schools like iLEAD Exploration and other independent study schools. There was a bill passed in California that effectively put a freeze on growth for charter schools or independent study charter schools. Can you talk about that a little bit with our listeners? Can you explain how that policy is actually keeping kids out of an amazing school like yours?
Okay, yeah. It came as a huge disappointment, Matt, to us last summer when the bill passed. I think it was AB 77 that prevented independent study charter schools like ours from enrolling new families by restricting our numbers back to the numbers that we had last February. And so all of the new growth and enrollment that was coming from outside, even the public system, they were saying, hey, the public schools are struggling in this. We want to go to a system that is familiar with this, that knows how to do this. Right. And so they were coming to us. We had long wait lists and families wanting to start in the fall, and we were hiring teachers. We were preparing to hire teachers. But then with that decision, we had to cut back to those numbers in February, so we had to halt all of that growth and not permit those families to come to us, which was a huge disappointment on both sides, for families and for us. Yeah. But in that process, we also realized, though, that the growth numbers that we were facing due to families leaving schools would have put a tremendous strain on our system for training and supporting families, because we really want to provide excellent service and care for our families. And we feel like slow and steady is going to be important for us to be able to do that effectively. So we have, while we were ready and prepared, it's kind of helped us reevaluate and go, okay, how can we do this moving forward so that it's healthy for our school and we can still provide that excellent service?
Well, that's terrific.
So, yeah.
That's frustrating to hear, though, because I know 50 years ago, the most important decision that a family would make for their children was which pediatrician to take them to, which doctor should I choose, because 50 years ago, what school to send my child to wasn't a choice. You either went, if you could afford a private school, you would do that, but most of us who couldn't, our kids went to the local public school. Today, the most important decision that a family has to make is what school to send my child to. But in Sacramento, doing things like this really literally limits a parent's choice as to what they can do. But I'm glad to hear that you guys were able to take a step back and regroup and really gear up, because assuming that bill is going to expire this summer, as it's set to do, iLEAD Exploration is, you guys are probably set to grow, maybe 10, 15% this school year. So based on the number of people on the wait list, when that happens, you're going to need to hire more staff, as you mentioned, as well. So what is it that iLEAD Exploration looks for in a team member if people are listening and thinking about joining the team?
Well, yeah, that's right. When we do need to hire, we're looking for credentialed teachers who are ready to learn new systems that might involve ordering, researching curriculum options for K through 12, using their areas of expertise to work on projects that help build our school. Working in independent study is a big learning curve. It's a little bit different than the classroom mindset. And so we're looking for, sometimes it means helping create and assign those projects that are going to really reach that independent thinker, While it uses knowledge gained from teaching in the classroom, the job also focuses on different aspects of working with families who are trying to navigate home study. This in many cases, this is a new thing for them. So high schoolers who have passions and interests that they want to pursue, we really want to help them do that at Exploration. So we're looking for team members who think outside of the box a little bit and who are ready to work with them to do that. It helps if they have homeschool experience. Many of our facilitators do, but it's if they're willing to work with homeschoolers and come alongside them, then we are excited to have them. We're also looking for diversity to help us grow as an inclusive organization. So all of those things to keep in mind, we'd love to have them.
Yeah, definitely. That academic freedom is so exciting for teachers, but that comes with a need to be a self-starter and to be innovative. Now, Bethany, one last question. Next segment, I'm going to be talking about about celebrating some special days. I heard that you have a favorite day of the year. Can you tell us about what your favorite day of the year is?
Yes, my favorite day of the entire year, every year, is graduation day.
All right.
It's just a really special day to get to celebrate our learners, and I love that.
Absolutely, get to celebrate everything that they've accomplished and looking forward to that huge new step, whatever it may be in their life. Well, there you have it. If you're interested in homeschooling, or maybe you're interested in working at iLEAD Exploration, you can reach out to us at iLEADexploration.org. That's iLEADexploration.org. There's always a long wait list, like you heard, so you'll want to reach out now for next year. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it. You have a great weekend.
Thank you, Matt.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
We will be right back. This is SCVI and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley. I'm your host, Matt Watson, and this is your hometown station, KHTS.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow, here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. I made sure that they would be everything you'd ever want in a sheet set. I started with the world's finest cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region where the Sahara Desert, the Nile River, and the Mediterranean Sea all meet. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with extra wide pillowcases to fit over any pillow and extra deep pockets to fit over any mattress. Not only that, they come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free. I personally guarantee that they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS or call 800-973-3927 and use the promo code KHTS. That's 800-973-3927 or go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS.
Our trash has got to go somewhere, and Chiquita Canyon Landfill is helping make the Santa Clarita Valley a little greener. Our local landfill creates clean energy from our waste disposal to power 10,000 homes each year. With their 9.2 megawatt clean energy facility harnessing the landfill's methane gas, you can feel good that the waste from your home in the SCV is helping create a clean energy source. Chiquita Canyon Landfill is our partner in sustainable living.
Chiquita Canyon is helping lead the way to a greener future.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is SCVI and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. And we have had, what a great show today. It seemed to just fly by, but we had some great guests. We talked last hour with Kevin MacDonald. Kevin is the CEO at the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. And if you heard the interview with Kevin, you know that the Senior Center is kind of a misnomer. It is not a place just for seniors. In fact, they've got a lot of events coming up this weekend, tomorrow at 3 p.m., as a matter of fact. They've got a comedy show, a drive-up comedy show in their parking lot, so it's socially distant and safe, but they've got the comedians from JR's Comedy Club out there at the Senior Center at Bella Vita, and so get on their website and check it out. You're going to need to sign up. They've got events for our seniors, the Beauty Bus and Piece by Piece, where they're doing remote makeovers for our seniors. They've got live concerts. So many people have talked about how they miss live concerts. Well, Kevin admonished me, man. He got on my case about how, well, Matt, you got no reason to be missing live concerts. We've been doing them for 5 months. They've got a live blues concert coming up. They've got a drive-in movie night. And I got to tell you, I'm thinking about calling Big T and grabbing Dad and heading out to the drive-in movie night. They're showing Field of Dreams. What a perfect movie for my brother and my dad and I to go out and enjoy a drive-in movie night out there at Bella Vita, the Senior Center. They've got a book club, fitness courses, art classes, and a lot more. So go ahead and check out their website. It is myscvcoa.org, myscvcoa.org, or you can just give them a call at 661-259-9444, 661-259-9444. Let me give that again, 259-9444. And, after Kevin and I chatted about the Senior Center, Kevin stuck around, and he and Patty and I went head-to-head in trivia with Big T, and boy, that was an exciting round. I was able to stage an epic comeback. Patty, you made a good showing today. Proud of you. We had a lot of fun.
Y'all took my answers. Y'all stole them.
We took my answers. Yeah. You got to be quicker on the buzzer, buddy. And we just spoke with some of the high school team with iLEAD Exploration, iLEAD's renowned homeschool program. Bethany shared with us her favorite day of the year. She said her favorite day of the year is graduation day. And me, what's my favorite day of the year? Today. Today is a gift. Today is a wonderful day to be alive, and there's always more than one reason to celebrate the day. My regular listeners know that I love the holidays, and we celebrate them all, even the majorly minor holidays, and we've got a lot going on today. Today is March 5th. March 5th is, check this out, National Cheese Doodle Day. Happy National Cheese Doodle Day, Patty. What?
Ooh.
I told you these were majorly minor holidays, right? It is also National Speech and Debate Education Day. Remember, there's a difference between debate and fighting, but try this. Maybe today, to celebrate the day, go to the grocery store and debate the cost of the items that you're buying. See how that goes for you. Today is National Employee Appreciation Day. Now, this is an important one. All you employers out there, make sure that you let your employees know just how much you appreciate them. Don Evenson, Amber Golden, you can reach me now here at the station, 661-434-1045. That's 661-434-1045. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Phones are not ringing, no.
Don? Amber? Okay, well, maybe a little bit later on in the show. We've only got a couple minutes left, though. National Employee Appreciation Day, ladies. It is also National Dress in Blue Day. Patty, congratulations. You got the memos. So if you're not wearing blue today, you've still got time. Get back in there and change. Today is also National, check this out, I'm not making it up, National Absinthe Day. So if you're of age, well, I'll let you make the call on that one. Yeah, it's a thing. I'm not making it up. You can look it up. Today is also National Multiple Personality Day, and there are actually 2 ways to celebrate this one. You can explore who you are in the various facets of your life. You know, we all have our various personalities for various different situations. Like I'm not always Mr. Super Radio guy. Sometimes I have to be serious business guy or responsible parent guy or helpful neighbor guy. Use this day to examine who you are in different situations and when, how, and more importantly, why you choose to emphasize or de-emphasize certain traits. But it's also a great day to raise awareness to multiple personality disorder, better known as dissociative identity disorder, or DID. You know, less than 0.1% to 1% of the population actually suffer from DID, but its impact weighs heavy on those people and their families, and we need to improve treatment, support, and research. And finally, it is National Day of Unplugging, and this is a big one. 24 hours of disconnecting. Unplug, unwind, relax, and do things other than using today's technology, electronics, and social media. It's Friday, so it's a great day for it, and you've still got time, so go ahead and use that technology. Text your partner, DM the kids, let them know that you're starting at sundown tonight, and then head over to iLEADschools.org, check out any one of our schools that might be a perfect fit for you and your family, and then power down for 24 hours. So, National Day of Unplugging. We've got lots of different days that we could be celebrating today. Also, quick news update before we go. Earlier this week, President Biden commented about how those who think that now that we have a vaccine and infection rates, COVID infection rates are going down, we can just take off our masks and go back to normal. President Biden said that is Neanderthal thinking, and of course, the Geico caveman quickly protested, and the White House had to issue a quick policy shift and issued a statement this morning reminding that Geico caveman that he's been extinct for 40,000 years. Also, Pope Francis is in Iraq this morning. He is actually the first pontiff to visit Iraq ever. And this morning, in a speech directed toward a mixed group of Iraqi Christians, Muslims, and Jews, the Pope stated that Father Abraham has many sons has Father Abraham. He went on to proclaim, quote, "And I am one of them, and so are you, so let's all praise the Lord." True quote. I want to thank you all for joining us today. Thank you to my guests, SCV Senior Center CEO Kevin MacDonald, my brother Big T, Laura Kazan, Bethany Maddox, and Lisa Rittenhouse with iLEAD Exploration Homeschool. Want to invite you to join us again next week and every Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We are here every week, so once you join us on Eye on the Valley. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVI and iLEAD Schools, Eye on the Valley, on your hometown station, KHTS.